Shortly after purchasing Playboy Mansion West in 1971, Hugh Hefner transformed what was a stately English-style manor house into a haven for hedonism. What once was an empty and flat space around the main building was transformed with waterfalls, rolling hills, gardens, a tennis court, and a resort-style swimming pool.
When we excavated for the pool and tennis court, we recycled all the earth and built 12-foot mounds in the backyard, which are earth mounds now that immediately give him privacy and yet allow the view across the 1,300 acres of the Los Angeles Country Club. Now that's a secret.
But of all the Playboy Mansion's many fantasy features, perhaps none has captured the lurid imaginations of the general public as this one. The legendary grotto.
The grotto is the busiest place during our events. It's there for everybody, and there's no holds barred. Everything goes.
The infamous grotto.
Yes, we had some good memories here.
You can come in from 3 different ways. You can simply walk through the door. You can come on the shallow end under the waterfall, or you can swim under the rock out to the deep end. It's magic. People bring their fantasies with them, and we don't disappoint. The secrets of the grotto remain in the grotto. If the walls could talk.
Well put.
Yes.
Mr. Hefner didn't swim, so part of what we did was to create the pool at a level of 3.5 to 4 feet deep so that most people could walk around even though they couldn't swim. That's a secret of the grotto, too.
But is there another, perhaps more sexual secret behind the water level in the mansion grotto?
If you look at the height of a woman, I'd say 42 to 48 inches falls directly below her breasts. And that way breasts are always above the water. Is that a secret? I don't know, maybe, but it's logical.
The mansion property is also home to some 60 redwood trees, some measuring as tall as 100 feet. And inside the perimeter of this massive private forest is another secret. A zoo, which houses everything from peacocks and flamingos to African cranes, 4 species of monkey, and of course, lots of real Playboy bunnies.
Oh, it's a baby. It is a baby.
Oh, yeah,
sure,
there they
it's
are.
hanging on to the mommy. It's on its back.
We're the only private property in Los Angeles that has a zoo permit.
You have a few more monkeys.
We do indeed. The monkeys have been monkeying around.
One testament to Hugh Hefner's love of animals is another of the mansion's many secrets.
One of the secret walkways that people really never see is when you go to the game house, after you cross over the Hollywood Star, there is a little pathway, you turn right. But back there is a whole pet cemetery of dogs that Hef has had that passed away over the period of time.
There are animals that were buried here from when I was younger, and there are also animals that were buried here from the 70s and 80s.
Vivi and Buddy and Mama Dog, Papa Dog, Bogey, Harlow.
Littlefoot, oh man, and Archie, yeah, they were like the house dogs, and since I was a kid, they were keeping us safe, so it's sad, but at least they're with us.
But while Hefner transformed the grounds of his estate into a real-life Garden of Eden, the exterior of the mansion has remained pretty much just as it looked when it was built in 1926. The same, however, cannot really be said for the interior. For although much of it looks authentically antique, it has been outfitted with a myriad of secret doors, secret panels, and secret passages.
So there really are all these passages, and we're gonna actually see one that's really cool. Right now, follow me up here. Come around this corner, stay close, Although these look like closets, a bookshelf area, films, it's actually... This is definitely my favorite view of the entire house. It's beautiful. This actually used to be a jacuzzi, so you could imagine what it would be like at night to be sitting up here. It's awesome.
There is a secret panel that leads to the wine cellar.
Having things like this to play hide and go seek were like the best.
It was a hidden doorway, which was kind of in the walls that led into the library, and you would never know it was there. You have to know about it. You walk down this kind of spiral staircase, and you walk down and you see bars, like you're in a jail or something.
The house was built in 1927, the middle of the Prohibition, where drinking was illegal, so there was a place where they hid the liquor.
In order to get into that wine cellar, you have to get the key. And who's the only one with the key? You would think the security guards would have one. No. It's in Hef's box, right next to his phone.
For HMH only or at HMH approval, do not enter into the Jonas system.
Trust me, I tried to get that key.
Man, I guarantee my dad's gonna get mad at me for being down here.
In all, the mansion has 29 rooms, several of which are used as Playboy offices. There is also a separate game house and dozens of guest rooms. But there is one room that is strictly off limits to most of the people who are lucky enough to pass through the mansion gates. Unless, of course, you are personally invited by Mr. Hefner himself. The master bedroom.
Welcome to my bedroom. It's my favorite room of the house. It's where I do my best work and play. I was a big fan of Universal monsters, so you'll see a lot of Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi here, Frankenstein, Dracula. And the mantle is filled with things from childhood. And on the other side, young man grown up. On the chandelier, a lot of panties left by very sweet young ladies.
But not only does Hugh Hefner's bedroom house a veritable treasure trove of romantic and childhood fantasies, it also boasts an ornate carved wooden bed that took 9 craftsmen 5 years to complete.
Mr. Hefner loved wood, and obviously the world of Playboy was important to him. If you look at the carvings carefully, you'll see part of his life. In an English Tudor manor house, historically, they would have some kind of a great big military scene of conquering with swords and horses and battlegrounds. He had women.
The carving is obviously related to nature and ladies. Some of the girls were inspired by former girlfriends. A lot of memories here.
But perhaps the most fabled and secret room in the Playboy Mansion is the one some call the Elvis Suite. According to some, the king spent one wild night there in the early 1970s, and it has been sealed ever since.
I don't know if I'm really at liberty to talk about the Elvis room. Best I can tell you is that we're kind of sworn to secrecy.
I can't tell you about the secret Elvis room, but it does exist. It's a secret. Mr. Hefner's been quoted as commenting about the secret Elvis room. If he wants to tell anybody where it is, that's entirely up to him.
There are secrets here at the mansion that I think sometimes maybe should be kept as secrets.
I've heard it before, but I have no idea what they're talking about. Elvis was not in the building.